Harry, it was great to see you back in the squad on Tuesday night, and of course, disappointing result, but plenty to be positive. Did it feel good to be back out there?
Yeah, it felt great to be back out there. I mean, like I say, I think we're all disappointed with the result, but there was lots of good bits in there. There was lots of pleasing bits in there, and really positive for us to take forward. So I think obviously the result's not what we wanted it to be, but I think going into the weekend, I think there's lots of positives we can take when looking back at the performance from Tuesday night for sure.
It's obviously never nice to be watching from the sidelines, especially when you probably feel like you can impact the game in some way, and you're stuck there not being able to play. What's that like? Because I imagine you probably see things on the pitch and you think, oh, I'd have done that differently, or oh, if only I was there at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. It's probably one of the hardest things of being a football player is, like you say, not being able to contribute when you're on the side and you're watching. Obviously, injuries are part of the game. They're part and parcel of the game. It's not the nicest part of the game. It's, in fact, the worst part of the game. But they happen. And like you say, when you're on the side, it can become very frustrating watching the game. And like you say, not being able to come on or not being able to play to make an impact. But you just got to try and do as much as you can, like I was, to be back as fit as you can and as fast as you can to try and help the team when you're available.
It's been an unusual, I think unusual is probably the best way to say it, last 10 days or so. Matt Taylor was obviously the manager who brought you up into the first team and gave you your opportunities. How has it been for you with his departure, and how are you finding working with Kev and John?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Matt's been sort of the manager whilst I've been a professional. So my first year as a professional was when Matt got appointed. So yeah, I think it's obviously strange to not have his presence and to have sort of his voice around the building, around the changing room and things like that. But football moves on, and all of us players and the club's got to move on as well. And I thank Matt hugely for the chances he's given me throughout the last 5 years as a professional. So yeah, like I say, I thank him and Wayne and the other guys that left before, and Dan and Connor as well, and helping me. And like I say, to Matt for giving me opportunity. But I think Kev and John have been great since they've stepped in. I think Kev's sort of kept it quite simple, tried to keep it the same, but implement slightly what he wants to do, but like I say, overall sort of kept the same as what was there before. And I think he's done a fantastic job since he's come in, and I think the lads have took to him really well, and all sort of stood up together. So I think it's been a really positive 10 days under the circumstances.
Over the last year or so, really, ever since the start of this year, we've seen you adapting to play in a defensive position. Kev hinted earlier that there may be an opportunity for you again in the next couple of weeks while we wait for some defenders to come back from injury. What's that like, playing in a position that you're perhaps not used to and being thrown in perhaps where you're needed elsewhere on the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a great trait to have, is to be able to play in a couple of positions. Obviously, midfield is my main position and my main role. But I feel like I can help the team out there defensively as well. I think I'm still obviously learning that position. I mean, I've played for however many years in midfield, and I've only played at centre back a handful of times. So I mean, I'm still learning that position, but it's great to be able to help the team and to be able to play another position if I'm asked to by the manager. So like I say, I'm still learning in that position, but I feel like I'm getting better each time I play there, definitely.
Looking ahead to Oxford on Saturday, then the team a pretty stable League One side. Disappointing start from them so far this season, but as we've seen as recently as Tuesday, it only takes one result for a team out of form to perform well. We've just got to make sure that's not against us on Saturday. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, they're a very good League One outfit. They had a really good season last season. So I think that, like you say, they probably had a disappointing start to the season for where they would sort of expect it to be after 12, 13 games. But I don't feel as though that we can sort of let that affect us. I think we've just got to go into the game looking to try and get the 3 points and trying to do everything we can to get the 3 points. I mean, we can't affect any of their results previously or any results going forward, but we can affect it on Saturday. So we need to try and make sure we go out there with, like I say, there was lots of good bits from Tuesday with confidence and take that into Saturday, and like we say, we'll be looking for the 3 points at home.
We're coming up towards sort of 1/3 of the season played, if you like, and we find ourselves 8th in the league. I mean, as a group in our first season back in League One, you must all be thrilled with how we performed so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there's games where we've conceded late goals as well, and we could have even we should have had more points than what we've got at the moment. But I think it's been a great start to the season. I think we performed sort of well consistently, and I think that we've shown that we can more than match ourselves against teams in this league and against bigger teams in this league as well. So I think it's been a really positive start. I think we just got to keep moving forward. I think we've got a really good squad this year, and I think even when we get some of those lads back that are injured at the moment as well, we'll have really good sort of depth in our squad as well. So like I say, I think everyone would be really happy with where we are in the table at the moment, but got to move on to the next game, and Saturday's the next game to try and sort of get 3 points and move even further up.